Hello everyone, I'm Alvarez and this is Alvarez Metalworks. So straight away, let me apologize about the noise. I'm not sure how loud this compressor is coming across over the microphone. It's going to shut off in a bit. I just started this thing. I'm adjusting the air pressure shut off thing that's over here, because the first time I started it went up to 200 psi and didn't shut off. Couple things I want to mention before I show you guys this setup. Number one, my hose reel is not bolted to the compressor tank just yet. It's going in that location, but it's just sitting there rattling around right now. Number two, I have a Milton air filter that's going to be attached right off the tank that is not attached yet because I do not have the right fittings, and all the hardware stores are closed at the moment. So I'll have to get that tomorrow. Now the thing turned off, we'll see what pressure it's at. Let me check this before. Yeah, we're good to go. Shut off at about 177 psi or so. Anyway, I may back it down just a little bit. The compressor is an 80-gallon tank. It has a leak at the very bottom of it. You may hear it kind of hissing. It's not a huge leak. It's tiny. I'll address that this summer sometime. But for the time being, it'll work. I can deal with that. One thing, it's an 80-gallon tank. It's an Ingersoll Rand 2-stage pump. It's a Boulder single phase 240 volt 5 horsepower. Ballpark, if I remember correctly, 1700 RPM motor. I swapped over, it's a brand new motor. I swapped that over from a 3-phase motor that was on there. Quite frankly, I don't have 3-phase power. I know I could get a phase converter. I know there's the IDF or something like that. I don't know, whatever those things are. I know those options are out there, but for my electrical setup and the electrical service that I have here in my shop, it made more sense for me to just get a single phase motor and be done with it. It was more cost effective. It's easier. It's less drain on my system here in the shop. It works. So before you guys run off and say, oh, you should have got this, you should have got that, I've already researched all that. This is my best option. So anyway, let's get a closer look at this. I got the cover off of this, obviously. It's just a switch. It's a pressure activated switch. You can't really see it because the lighting sucks. Oh, there it is. There's a pressure gauge there. There's the motor. Get this to focus. I know the light sucks, sorry. Here's the tag for the Type 30 Ingersoll Rand pump. And here's my Milton filter. Now this filter isn't a cheap one, okay? This is rated at 250 psi. It's 3/8 in and out, and this is this is metal body and everything. This is a super nice filter. That needs to get put in right after this ball valve. Okay, I got the Milton pressure regulator that's also rated at 250 psi. Right now I have it set at just maybe a hair over 130 psi. Okay, the reason I have this set at 130 psi and the compressor set at 175, number one, it can handle 175 psi no problem. I may back it down just a little bit, but it's not going to be that big of an issue. But my airlines, the Rapidair system, is only rated for 150 psi. Now, that's not all of the Rapidair systems. That's this entry-level one, which is the 1/2-inch vinyl tube. These are only rated for 150 psi. So keep that in mind when you set up your system. I'm going to show you how to disconnect these, but I got to bleed the pressure out of the lines before I do. Basically, we're running from here, elbows up, and going into this manifold. I have a drop here with a ball valve. What this is everywhere I have a vertical tube or an airline drop, I have one of these sections of tube with a ball valve on the bottom. What that does is if there's any condensation that builds up in this vertical line, it will hopefully collect here in this tube, and at the end of the workday, I could pop open these valves and dump whatever fluid's built up inside of here, okay? This manifold comes with the Rapidair system. Obviously, I've pieced together a bunch of different fittings and whatnot. You're going to have to do that. I don't care what kit you get from them. You're going to have to piece together what you want. And the fact of the matter is that we all have different shops and we all have different needs for our shops. And, you know, your setup may require a whole bunch of extra things that their kits don't offer. Or your setup may be real bare bones. Mine's pretty bare bones, but, you know, I wanted stuff like this. You know, I have a bigger compressor, so I needed these things. And, you know, there's certain things I needed based off of the planning for the future in my shop. I don't need but two airline drops in my shop, but I need a lot of air as far as requirements are concerned. So some of these things are... And plus, I plan on doing a little bit of painting in here, so I'm trying to do what I can to make sure that I don't have moisture in the line, or that I can at least trap it and get rid of it. So anyway, these ball valves are pretty simple. This one's closed. This supplies air up to this truss all the way across the room. It's just zip tied in place. And let me walk over there now, since I'm showing you it. Right there by that window, you guys can see the air line dropping down. It runs behind my steel rack. And before anybody says, oh, that's stupid, your steel's gonna hit it. No, it's not, because this is angle iron and the steel can't get any closer to the wall than that. The hose is protected, okay? It shouldn't take any impacts. Yes, I could throw something up there. I got a bunch of junk on there. Yes, I could throw something up there that could hit it. It is what it is. If I find it to be, if I bump into it a couple of times, I may build something to protect it better. I'm not really worried about it. This line is very rarely going to get used, and like it is right now, it's turned off. I got a garden hose reel or hanger, whatever you want to call that, because I've got 50 feet of hose that I'm just going to hang on there and plug it into this coupler here. And I've got a Harbor Freight just filter on here. Eventually I'll put a filter regulator. What brand, I don't know. It's going to depend heavily on these Harbor Freight ones, whether they hold up or not. I do have a leak in the system here at the manifold. I don't know where it is, but I heard it when I supplied air to this line, so I need to tear that apart and investigate what's going on there. But all in all, I'm happy. Let me come back over here on this end, and that's, again, I got a leak, so that's why I have these ball valves. That ball valve will let me isolate that line. If you don't have shutoffs for every one of your lines, what that does is means when you have one failure at a line, it means you can't use any of your system because it's going to leak out that failed area. Well, the way I have this set up, if I have one line fail, I can turn it off and leave the other one on and be able to use that other line. If I have a major failure, I can come over here and shut the whole thing off with this one. Okay? So this other line comes over here, goes into this manifold, goes into this Harbor Freight filter regulator. I have this set at about 100 and just short of 110 psi. Assuming that gauge is accurate. Again, I have the drop there with the ball valve so that if there's any moisture, I can let it out. The setup's pretty simple. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that. The Rapidair system, it was as easy as can be to put together. You know, the hardest part of this system was the fact that this compressor is really quite big. You know, some people would say this is maybe overkill, but even though I'm not like a full-fledged shop where I'm doing work for other people on a regular basis and I have employees, there's things I want to do in here like sandblasting and stuff like that require a lot of air. And I'm still a little bit unsure how well this compressor will do with sandblasting. But I'm going to find out. I'm going to find that out before I go out and buy a blast cabinet. And that's kind of what I'm set up to do. Anyway, this electrical line that you see here is absolutely unsafe. Okay, it's safe in regards to the wire gauge. It's wired properly. There's a switch here in this box to turn it on and off. But obviously it should be run through conduit. It will be run through conduit. I'll probably take that switch out of that box and put another switch here on this side somewhere and run conduit. But for the time being, I need to get this thing up and running for that project this weekend. So it's up and it's running. I just need to get that filter in place and I can get to work finally. Oh, and bolt that hose reel down. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like always, subscribe, comment, like. I hope you got something out of this video. Remember to check out RourkeSupply.com. Use coupon code METAL. Get your 10%, that'll give you a 10% discount off anything you order. That's my thank you to you, and Rourke Supply's thank you to you for the support of my channel. I'm pretty sure you'll find something on there on their website that you guys can use. With that being said, this Milton regulator, the Milton Filter that's right there, the hose reel that I got from Amazon, the Rapidair system, I will have links for all of those in the description. This Balder, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, motor. If you're interested in one of these motors, it's a 5 horsepower motor. Just type in BLDOR, that's how the name's spelled, into eBay. This is where I've got this from. And do 5 horsepower single phase, and this motor will come up. Okay, the only thing I'm going to caution you on is there's a couple manufacturers on there selling a knockoff version of this, and you have to really pay attention to the way it's worded, because you could end up buying the knockoff version and saving yourself maybe like $5. Make sure you're getting the right one. I would put a link to it, but eBay tends to, those sales links tend to go away, so I'm not going to bother with that. Just search on there if you guys are interested in that. It's a good motor, good brand, should last for years to come. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Talk to you later.